Tropical Acres Steakhouse.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Hello and good, I guess it's afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. It's a rainy day. I'm discombobulated, out of sorts, blunged, whatever you want to call it. I just spent like 4 hours at an auto dealership getting a oil change that they told me it actually also included a voluntary recall adjustment on the computer gas line system. I don't know. They said it was voluntary recall, but the car might blow up if you don't get this done. They said it was going to be an hour to an hour and a half for that. That was in the letter, but in actuality, I had a 7:30 appointment at my local Kia dealership, which is no longer owned by the Josh Levy, the Levy family, mayor of Hollywood. Recently sold it, as I learned to my dismay when I was texting him. But in any event, enough of my kvetching. It's supposed to be a happy day. Panthers are up 2-0. How are you, gentlemen? It's been a long weekend here on the show. I was out with some other personal business yesterday, actually scattering the ashes of a friend in the ocean, which is a good way to go. I'm thinking instead of the 16th pole of Gulfstream, like you said, it's very nice to be at one with the sea. It was a very good ceremony. All right, enough of my shenanigans. How about you guys? What's going on, Defo?
I just got an oil change. No. You waited at the dealership for one of those deals? I mean, you got to be kidding me. I'm surprised they didn't come back and tell you needed $400 worth of brakes. What they did to me, I was getting an oil change. Car's running fine. There's no problem with it whatsoever. And they immediately suggest, as Mustang went back to pick it up, that we needed new rotors all the way around, brakes, tires, everything.
All right, so here's
told them, stick it where the sun don't shine.
I completely agree and feel, the typical, I guess one of my rules of life is never go to a dealership for any kind of service unless it's free and under warranty. And in this case, it's my daughter's car, but it's in my name. And for the first 2 years, you get the free oil changes and the free servicing, the free tire rotation, all
worth taking advantage of, I would say.
And
sure.
The thing is, they say, okay, you make an appointment and it's supposed to be easy in and out. And so I made the appointment. Again, first appointment of the day. It's kind of like the first flight of the day at the airport. Things don't get backed up when you're the first one in. And when I first got in there and they first checked me in, they said because of this recall thing, the whole thing would take about 2 to 2.5 hours. And again, I get in there at 7:30. You figure you're going to be gone 10 o'clock the latest, right? Had they told me it would be 4 hours, I would have had my daughter come with me and would have taken me home. We would have gone out for breakfast. I would have done something besides drinking 5 of the free coffees from the fresh espresso
car
machine.
dealership coffee usually sucks also. I mean, it's not like they're using Lavazzi or whatever. Right?
No, here's the thing. This was the happy surprise there. Everything else,
coffee was good.
They had the Illy machine, the Italian fancy coffee.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And you could actually get either your lattes, cappuccino, the espresso, I had 3 regular coffees, and then I caved in.
Really? Wow, no wonder you're wiring up here for the show. Because I noticed you were like especially energetic. It was almost like you were gargling with a Monster Energy drink or something.
Gargling with caffeine. And I had a
now, radio station coffee was routinely horrible. Lubie, would you agree? And then on top of that, somebody, even if you kept your own little thing of cream in the community refrigerator in the newsroom, it was likely gone by the time you actually went to use it yourself. So you were stuck with Cremora, which has a skull and crossbones on the label, where it just says laced with cancer-causing elements. I don't know how it was. I don't remember coffee being very good at the newspapers I worked at either. I don't know how it was at the Sun Sentinel. You guys run some high-budget systems there, so maybe it was good.
No, but some of the earlier shops I worked in had miserable coffee because everybody was busy drinking from their flasks hidden in
Those
their
were the days
desks.
when journalism was journalism, my
Right, that
friend.
was back when I was an
You
intern at
had
the
real
Boston
newspaper
Globe,
people.
and
Yes.
back when guys like Mike Barnacle was actually the Metro columnist of the Globe when I was an intern there, and he was just puffing away on a stogie in his office, even though the building was supposedly still. It was the early days of the no smoking laws, and
Yeah.
he just completely disregarded it, which I kind of loved. And yeah, they had
I'm glad you reminded me, man. People used to smoke at their desks in the newspaper I worked at in Ontario, California,
Oh,
the
jeez.
Daily Distort. Yeah, and it wasn't uncommon in a small little, 4-person sports department for the editor Jim Bryant to just light up a cigarette and then praise Jesus. That he had the opportunity to live another day. Or like, I don't know. They had no idea about like banning the idea,
Right. It
smoking
was
indoors.
completely different times. And yes,
Wow.
those were the days where the coffee, whether from the cafeteria or in some vending machine, was complete rock gut crap. But, as I evolved and things, the copy editors started taking things into their own hands, especially people that be working the late night shift. They would bring their own brewing equipment, their own little Mr. Coffee machines or Nespresso machines as things went on. And then there were the old school, like the Cuban
A
coffee.
thermos. Yeah, we used to have that also
No,
back in
the
the day.
guys that
That's
would
way
brew
back.
in that little iron pot, the little Cuban coffee pot, and they just get, the Cafe Bustelo and
Oh
pour it
yeah,
in
yeah.
by the bucketful, and it was just like,
I thought you were supposed to
sludge.
drink the whole thing the first time somebody gave me like
Oh,
a,
the little cafecito, the cup.
they gave me like all these little thimble cups, but they gave me like the one giant mothership, and I just drank it like it was a cup of coffee.
Talk about
I
rocket
drank
fuel.
enough Cuban coffee that day to wake up a small country. It was unbelievable.
Oh, I love that stuff.
That was
mean,
my first experience with it here. It was almost like the first time I drank tequila.
I can't have the real sugar with it anymore, but even with Splenda, it's it'll definitely light a fire under your.
Somehow Splenda and Cuban coffee, I don't know. I mean, I
It
understand.
should be verboten.
Yeah.
It's like ketchup and hot dogs or pizza and
Yeah,
pineapple.
Cuban
It's just-
coffee.
Or,
It's
or
not right.
as you've been talking about on Let's Eat South Florida, big debate again about the condiments that are given out at a Chinese restaurant, whether or not it's reasonable to charge for so-called house mustard, which
Well-
I don't know. Is that like charging for Gouldens if you're getting a hot dog at Shea?
I did this post with you in mind because Defo.
Yeah,
because
and I got a lot of I was surprised. I mean, there's no argument. It's worse than the Hunter Biden case. What argument is there? The guy's on crack and he bought a gun. All right.
no, the I blended a number of the Defo elements into that one post. So, well, again, as they say, a lot to unpack there. Not just the concept of do you charge for house mustard, which in the case of the place I went to last night, and again, fine meal, reasonably priced. It was only like $32.
Prices were pretty low to begin with, so
Yeah, it's not-
I wouldn't have a big complaint about it there.
I brought a bunch of Chinese takeout and had it with Val for the Panthers game. It's been a good luck thing for me, is just kind of hanging out and
You didn't worm your way into the game somehow? I somehow envisioned you being in there.
there were parts of me that wanted to do it because my daughter is back, and I thought maybe it'd be a good kind of daddy-daughter thing.
Stacey Ritter doesn't have like a box or something.
I wasn't going to start
half of the
shameless.
city.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to start shamelessly snoring and hitting up Stacey
Why
Ritter.
not? What stopped you? I mean, what is wrong with you?
I guess
Some
I
epiphany?
still
I mean, what
have-
happened?
I still have some shame in my body, but when I saw Craig Minervini
Not when it comes to
post-
this. Yeah.
when I saw what he posted on Facebook yesterday morning about, hey, he might have a couple extra lower
Right.
bowl seats for the game, and he was willing to part with them at what he paid for it, which he said was, I was figuring, sometimes
I figured he bought them at face value, which I'm thinking was like $325, $350.
Here's
something
my
like that.
experience with these things. When I was a sports columnist at the Sun Sentinel, when the Mets played the Yankees in the Subway Series, and I think it was the year 2000, I really wanted to get my parents into one of the games because they grew up huge baseball fans, and it was nice. And I went to, the PR people from Major League Baseball, and they said they do have some, tickets available that's purchased at regular face price, so you're not breaking any ethics codes. And these were like nosebleed seats. And back in 2000, I'm saying it must have been at least like $75 to $100 face value on the upper deck of Yankee Stadium. And I bought them, at face value. But when Minervini said that he was going to, get him, that all he wanted was to kind of get back what he paid for him, which I figured was kind of comparable to face value. And I know that season ticket holders were getting lower bowl seats for like $300 and change per ticket for these Stanley Cup final games. So I figured his were going to be in that
And that's
neighborhood.
right on the cusp of never mind.
Yeah,
For me,
well,
I mean, if not already well past it, but
on the
300 for a ticket to a sporting event.
I was willing to go like maybe 600 or 700 for a
Ooh.
pair of
Oh, for
tickets.
a pair.
300,
Okay.
300,
And you would have bought them and gone?
possibly if it was
Oh,
lower
wow.
bowl,
And lower bowl 600,
'cause
Stanley Cup Finals. I mean,
these are once in a lifetime things, memories, and yesterday
Maybe
was
for game 7. I don't know about game 2.
all right. Well, I was willing to do it because you're not assured of a game 7, and this was
you're
a
not
sure
correct, man.
thing that you're going to have a game, and it's going to be a lifetime memory going to a cup final game with your daughter, and these things are priceless. So I was willing to do it, but then
I wasn't going with your daughter, and certainly Lubie wasn't going to. Oh, you were talking about you. Okay, you were going to buy these tickets.
but I reached out to Craig, and then he
Oh,
said,
you did? Okay.
I did.
Because I did also to ask him about this
I
ethical
asked
question.
him about it through the direct message, like
Yeah.
you said, and I said, I'd be interested in going. He goes, well, he said, I guess he had 4. He said 2 of them are already gone, but he has another 2, and he was offering them. It was like 17th row, and he said $900 a piece, and I spit out my coffee, and I said for $1,800.
Minnie had to pay $900 a pop.
I don't
to
know if
buy
that's
these off the team as a
I
member
don't
of the
know if-
media staff. He does every broadcast. He's there bleeding his guts out for the Panthers to get another victory. He takes pucks to the head. He's taken all kinds of, I would imagine technical problems on, and
he spent
just
nearly $4,000 on
worked his way through them.
I don't know what he
Get
actually
outta
purchased
here.
them for. All I know, he was offering them to me for the reasonable rate of $900 a piece, which at that point I said that's a little out of my league. And what I didn't tell him is I'd already been on that SeatGeek site,
Yeah.
and the lower bowl tickets I found on there at the same time that he got back to me was $850 per ticket. So
Which would have wrecked our plan of buying the tickets off Minervini and turning around and selling them to somebody else.
Usually they
Yeah.
sell it less than
Yeah.
what the market is. So to me,
And-
they were way lower, and SeatGeek had them higher, and Minnie was having Minnie's a great guy. I love Minnie.
Oh, we don't mean to drag him through the mud here.
I'm
Look,
not giving him crap. I don't think he's pulling any move. To me, just be honest. Like, there's no way he spent nearly $4,000 on 4 tickets. He's now magically selling because 4 people don't want to go. Look,
Sounds to me like maybe I was part of his season ticket proposition
No,
for
look
being
what
an
we would've
announcer on the team, and no, he wouldn't do that. See, my problem with it was if you were going to turn around and scalp the tickets, let's say they were 300 and you bought them, and you saw that the market called for even $800, right? So you can go right outside the stadium there, or even do this online, and make yourself a quick $1,000 without having to make a move. It's a wonderful thing. But would you be? Can I use a word like this on Let's Eat South Florida? Would you be considered a diabolical scumbag for the guy giving you the tickets under the auspices at that price that you were going, and he wanted you to go and be with him and watch the game?
I don't know all the particulars. All I know is I reached out. I had a price in mind that I was willing to pay.
Yeah, that would have been too much.
And the price that was quoted was much higher than the price I was willing to pay. He might have had me confused with you, Defo. I guess he must have heard that you had your 2-dime score in the Belmont Stakes.
Yeah, that was nice.
Saratoga.
Wow, I mean, and that was the ticket ended up paying $4,000. I split it with another guy, but any other day, that same sequence of odds in a pick 5 sequence, where you have to pick winners of 5 straight races. The first 4, the highest priced horse was 3-1, and 2 of the horses were favored. So, in spite of the fact that it looked like a really good card, there were some races where the standout was almost clear cut and then prevailed as such.
Yeah, the Tropical.
So that sequence normally, even with the bomb in the Belmont Stakes,
Yeah,
probably would have been about $1,000 at best. Yeah,
no, it came back really good because Dornoch was so overlooked. Again, if it came back the 9 or the 10, you're looking at a lot less. I know
if you had given me 9 of the 10 horses in that race, honestly, before I got involved with Piscataway Ray, who loved that horse, I would have left Dornoch out.
Well, so here's the thing, Defo. I played a late pick 4 for $24.
Oh, you hit? Yeah.
No, I didn't say that. Let me finish the story.
Why else would you tell it?
Because I had 6 out of the 10 goddamn horses in the Belmont, and one of the ones I left out was Dornoch. So instead of cashing a ticket for $520 something for my 50 cents, I ended up with Bupkis. And
you had to go all there though at that point.
Well, yeah, because the difference between all and the 6 was
A couple of bucks. Yeah.
it was $16. It was the difference
Oh,
between
well,
a
then that
$24
was just
ticket
a foolish move. You should punish yourself. You should look in the mirror, call yourself a loser,
and
because that's just a bad gambling
and
mistake.
here's the other, because I love the 9 horse in the previous race, the 8 horse that was a favorite. Like I basically singled 2 races and then
Yeah,
spread
yeah.
wide in
So do
2
we, yeah.
others. And Dornoch, I left it out, even though one of the best stories of my life, although one of the most embarrassing, involves me at the famed golf course in northern Scotland named Royal Dornoch. And it involved me, a hangover, drinking way too much whiskey, and then a big Scotch breakfast before we teed off of like stewed tomatoes and bangers, sausage and eggs and things like that. And then a 18
Now,
hole
can you get that somewhere here? I
an
mean, the one you just
18
described? No?
well, yeah, you can always get a Scottish breakfast, or what they call it, an English breakfast, a Scottish breakfast.
Oh, yeah, where would you go?
Oh, heck.
They don't have that at Denny's. I mean, where are you going for
No.
that?
I don't know, one of these pubs, like maybe even
Pubs,
the
it's
Oh,
Galway.
the Galway Shawl? I'm not
Yeah,
sure if they're
Galway
open for
Shawl.
breakfast. Yeah.
Sometimes the Field has Irish breakfast. But the bottom line was, it was story ended. It was an 18-hole golf course that does not have any restrooms on the grounds.
Oh,
And,
geez.
and this is
And
not
there
a
are
good
trees
thing.
there. I mean, that's the problem.
So basically, I had a incident at Royal Dornoch, which I now refer to as when you take a Royal Dornoch. It's not a pretty situation when there's no restrooms around. But anyway, so I wanted to black that whole episode out of my mind, and so I threw out Dornoch, even though the horse won a big stakes race at Gulfstream earlier this year and was working out well. It was a throwout horse. I'm sick to my stomach. But the good news is this segues into our contest. There was somebody who picked.
Oh, yeah, somebody had that horse? Oh, good. I couldn't help but think of a product I used to endorse a little bit reluctantly, because I actually thought the guy was advertising as a joke. And it was called the Euro Club. And it was a golf club that was designed for you in circumstances like you found yourself in, where there's no restroom and no trees,
Yes.
where you could just like take the shaft of this club, open it up, and pee right into it.
Well, this wasn't a
And
pee.
then restore, retained it, I guess, until you could find a place to dump it somewhere.
This
But
was a number 2 situation, and the only, like you said, there's no
oh,
tree.
well, then forget that. You had to just go in the ocean at that point. No.
No, at one point I did to bathe myself off after the fact, but the only thing they have on
No,
that
really, like the Bering Sea, or
is
like
heather. There's heather and gorse, and let me tell you, until you've crouched and wiped your butt with some heather and gorse,
how'd you get on this, man? We were talking about the Kentucky Derby or the Belmont Stakes.
it's the name
You're
of the horse
wiping
is
your ass
Dornoch.
with some grass over in some golf course in
Dornoch.
Ireland.
And then I had to bathe in the North Sea, which was
You are
about
discombobulated.
45 degrees. And
What
then
you have to eat this week?
all right, let's finish. up the
You've
contest.
clearly lost your mind. I mean, you've
Or did you even give the contest winner?
yeah.
Here we go. All right. And first of all, I'm very relieved that Dornoch did win the race, because if it ended up being, well, actually, 10 would have just been like a few horses that the Pletcher horse that ended up finishing second, Mindframe. But if it was the favorite, if the Chad Brown horse, Sierra Leone one, there would have been about 20 names in the hat.
Oh,
to
yeah.
make this.
That would have been
Here's the
more
recap.
troubling than your episode on the Irish coast there.
And let me just say congratulations. This is a first-time winner, and I believe a first-time entrant. Lauren Resnick,
Yeah,
congratulations.
she earned it, man. You pick a bomb like that in Belmont.
Okay, the
Great
restaurant, again, going with the New York theme, is New York Prime in Boca Raton. Again, weirdly
Now,
enough,
are you a fan of this joint? Because I've been there a few times,
never
and
been.
it's always good.
here's the thing. I've
It's
never
a big
been there.
favorite in Boca. Big
If I'm
favorite.
going to go for
Yeah.
steakhouses, I don't go to Boca, because it just usually brings me.
I would say this one is as good
Well,
as any,
it's,
though, that you would go to.
Yeah.
I don't recall ever thinking otherwise when I've been there.
So
They do a nice job. They really do.
I
High
hear-
end, classy. Good place.
I
No
hear
doubt.
nothing but good things, and the weird part is they don't have any outlets in New York, but they do have in, I guess it's Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and Atlanta. Besides
Yeah.
Boca Raton, it's been there more than 20 years. So New York Prime was the restaurant we were looking for. Now, weirdness happened in the Gulfstream contest race, the 11th race. Of course, it rained like cats and dogs, so the race got shifted from dirt I'm sorry, turf to dirt. There was 2 scratches of some contenders, but the favorite remained the favorite, number 5, De Regresso, and that was the clear-cut winner. But Lauren picked one of the horses that got scratched, the number 6, but according to contest rules, she gets the post-time favorite, which was number 5, De Regresso. And then she was the only one of the whole contest field, more than I think 40 people, to pick number 6, Dornoch. So job well done, Lauren Resnick. You will have positive memories of Dornoch, unlike yours truly. And Defo, also very happy that the Overlook.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. My circumstance was kind of funny because so I usually pool like $100 with my buddy Piscataway Ray for any of these Triple Crown events, and I was trying to figure out, well, how are you going to make money on this thing? We did have a theory that it would be a new face in the winner's circle. Going in, although I thought maybe Anna Marie had a shot. That was a wise guy horse that was forgotten about after a disappointing performance in the Kentucky Derby. So sometimes these horses come back and they distinguish themselves later on. It turned out that was the case with Dornoch, who had an ugly-looking trip in the Derby, and hey, you could throw that out, as it turned out.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I make the wager. I'm only alive in that wager with Piscataway Ray, and he had keyed Dornoch over 3 horses in $5 trifectas. So we were thinking maybe we'll make like a giant score here off that just alone if this horse wins. So now, turns out Mustang had a couple of cocktails there at the casino. She was rolling around, and I'm holding the tickets, and we decide to go to the Fish Shack for dinner, which
Good place.
we happen to be going by, coming south and going that direction. Said, hey, why not the Fish Shack? We go in there.
Lighthouse Point, right? New
Lighthouse
location.
Point, yeah. And absolutely great. I mean, if simplicity is bliss, I don't know anybody that does like a simple presentation as well as these guys in terms of the seafood. We have a lot of great seafood places. But I mean, they'll throw a piece of swordfish on the grill, and it's so freaking fresh that
simple.
it doesn't matter. I mean, you squeeze a little lemon on there, and it's great. But I couldn't get them to change the TV, and I didn't think it wasn't like it was a sports bar. And they're very busy in there. I mean, they are always jammed. So I didn't really want to harass the girl that was working the bar and keep reminding her, hey, could you possibly put the race on? So I didn't get to see the race. And then, sure enough,
that's the best when you just win and don't even have to sweat.
I thought it was okay that if I was watching a race, and I would have lost my mind in there, and it would have been totally inappropriate.
I saw your ticket. Yeah. All you had was the 6, 8, and 9 Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone, you can't find.
We had no 10. Party. Yeah, we had
the
no
8
10.
was your wise guy.
Just a guess, just like
Honorary.
Yeah,
and then 6. So, but you would have been plotzing if you were watching the race.
It would have been disgusting. Yeah,
it looked like Mindframe was going to just blow
by like it was nothing. Yeah.
And Mindframe just hung like a cheap.
You imagine you're trying to eat in a nice place, and all of a sudden you're like screaming and yelling at the top of your lungs, 4 letter words.
You rat.
Right.
At the bar at the Fish Shack. I mean, it would have been totally inappropriate, but couldn't have turned out better.
Congrats for you on the nice score. Yeah. You did not turn around and blow all the
What's weird, we left that 10 ball out of our tri-key, which would have got back another $3,000. And originally we put the ticket in, we were going to put it in for $1 instead of 50 cents, but we realized that was going to exhaust all of our auxiliary capital to maybe, hit something in case we were dead wrong, eliminated in the first leg. At least we would have had action. Otherwise, we would have hit it for the 8 times. So there's always something. There's always something.
Don't be greedy. Just take your money. That was an overlay and run.
But I have to say, Fish Shack, great. I mean, I had the buffalo shrimp, which I like a lot, and wow, and they're really good about like if you split something. We were able to get like 2 Caesar salads, all the things that the Let's Eat South Florida group finds offensive in other places that they won't do. They do it for you there. They're very good about it.
Very nice. Well, I had a good get out, like because they ran 14 races at the Saratoga Belmont card.
They're still running now. I mean, I think
they started at 10:45 in the morning. They had the 14th race go off at like right before the puck dropped on the Panthers game 1 at like 8:20. But the race after the Belmont, I was down to $10 in my account, and I was kicking myself because I blew it so hideously. And but it was a maiden race on the turf, and there was a horse that was bred by English Channel. It's a New York bred race, and English Channel somehow was the sire of one of the horses, one of the best of grass sires of all time. Was off at 21-1. I put 5 to win in place on him. Next thing I know, I had $130 back. So I cut my losses like almost in half.
Well, when they go to some sperm bank for this,
I don't know how it worked. All I know is like I couldn't believe I was getting 20-1 on the horse that was clearly.
Oh, beautiful! And you got it.
Yeah, I
Okay,
had it.
all
So
right.
I got a little bit out with my last
Nice.
$10. I turned that into 130, and I still was down 170 for the weekend, but I'll take it. That's it.
Who could complain? How can
I'm
you
not
complain? You're
complaining.
Mike Mayo, for God's
Yeah.
sake.
Getting back to the Chinese food,
Yeah.
so I don't mind spending 50 cents on the Chinese mustard.
It's not going to kill
It
you, but
was I was very surprised because I did take a picture of all the horrendous packets of the mustard and the duck sauce, which are terrible.
the
But
worst.
I found that some people on the group actually not
No.
only can tolerate the packaged mustard, they actually love it, and they
Well, then
say,
there's something wrong with those people. They should not eat Chinese food.
including
I don't want to cause trouble for you, but
Leslie Abravanel. She's a freelance writer. She does a lot of like feature work.
she likes the packaged mustard that they give you instead of the house mustard. I mean, I would rather have no mustard at that point.
The way she explained it is like those packets
I'd
have
put French's on there before I put that on.
they're heavy on turmeric or whatever, which is one of the
Turmeric,
spices. Yeah, turmeric, which I didn't even know that was a thing. All I know is anytime I've tasted that mustard, it's horrible. And she says she looks especially for the ones with the
I have to drop
panda.
out of here for 1 second. Go ahead.
Oh, all right, goodbye. I'm talking about his whole topic, the Chinese mustard.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you know what? Let's do our first
Yes, sir. It's time for a
spot.
break. Let's go.
And I'm very excited to announce the our friends at Visit Lauderdale, besides running the annual food festival, which takes place in January, and you could go online now and get your early bird, specially discounted price tickets for the grand tasting in January at vlfoodwine.com. But if you go onto vlfoodwine.com right now, you'll see that we've just announced the launch of one of the, I guess, upcoming special seasonal events. And we at the Lunchbox are very proud to be part of that. We are, I guess, call it co-hosting, co-sponsoring. It's called Pearl Jam by the Sea, and it's with
Wow.
our friends at Even Keel Fish Shack in Lauderdale by the Sea. The date is August 10th. And it's for those of you out there who like oysters, raw oysters, unlimited raw oysters, and unlimited sparkling wine. Not exactly champagne from France, but something very smooth and sippable. It's going to be unlimited quantities of both oysters and bubbles. And I don't know if you're into either one of those things, but I know a lot of people who are. So it's going to be Saturday, August 10th from 1 to 4 p.m. at Even Keel Fish Shack in Lauderdale by the Sea. And if you go online to vlfoodwine.com, you'll see a clickable item to get your tickets there, or go on to eventbrite.com and just do a search for Pearl Jam by the Sea. And the group Pearl Jam will not be in attendance playing, but there will be a Pearl Jam musical theme there. There will be a musician who will be playing all kinds of greatest hits from Pearl Jam, along with we're going to have the even flow, even keel cocktails that are going to be created. We're going to have the Vitology Bellini bar to mix with your sparkling wine. And again, tickets on sale now at vlfoodwine.com or eventbrite.com. Search for Pearl Jam by the Sea event, and $65 for your general admission tickets. Or if you want to sit inside or outside at the bar, and you get also a free brunch entree for the VIP price that's included, and that's $100. But $65 for all you can eat oysters and all you can drink sparkling wine. I think we can make up for that in terms of you could definitely call it a good value proposition considering the price of oysters and spirits these days. So again, go online, get your tickets now, and we're proud to be putting it on with our friends at Even Keel, Brad and Dave, along with Phil and Kate from Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival, vlfoodwine.com.
All right, more of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox on this fine Tuesday in a moment.
One of the best restaurants in Broward, J&C Oyster in downtown Hollywood. At 2035 Harrison Street, this place is fantastic and worth a drive. It's got creative, cutting-edge seafood and more with an Asian twist and gorgeous cocktails. Chefs Raheem Seeley and Monica Dominguez cut their teeth at some of Miami's best restaurants. Don't miss some of these fantastic dishes, including grilled oysters, fried chicken, and the Thai red curry crab. Open Wednesday through Sunday for dinner with daily happy hour and outdoor seating. Go to jncoyster.com for reservations and information. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. Are you looking for a good New York style slice? How about lunch specials for under $9 that come with garlic rolls and a fountain drink? I'm talking about Stromboli Pizza Kitchen in the Fountains of Plantation, 801 South University Drive. Since 1987, it's been home to Brooklyn-style pies and slices, heroes and paninis, pastas, and all your Italian-American favorites. It's got the unpretentious vibe of the pizza places of my youth with daily specials, family dinners, outdoor seating, eat-in, carry-out, or delivery. Open 7 days a week. Go to strombolispizza.com to place your order today. Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
I'll keep on.
All right. Oh, looks like Defo's laying down some action.
Transaction here. Got to decide how to put this money away. Yeah.
Oh my God, it must be nice. Anyway, we're back, and I just want to put in a good word about tomorrow. We'll be back on the road for a special edition later in the day. We are going to do a show, another home show tomorrow at regular time. But at 4 o'clock, we're going to be out at J&C Oyster. Again, the new hot spot in downtown Hollywood, 2035 Harrison Street. They're going to be having their official grand opening ribbon cutting tomorrow. So we're going to be doing a show out there. And again, they're open for dinner from Wednesday through Sunday. So they open at 5 o'clock with a great happy hour that's at the bar with some fairly priced cocktails and spirits and some really well-priced dishes. And they have some great food there from Chefs Raheem Seeley and Monica Dominguez. And we're going to hopefully have Chef Raheem and Monica on the show tomorrow. And we're also going to have a special guest, the mayor of Hollywood, Josh Levy, who is going to be part of the ribbon cutting as part of his official duties. But he's also...
Does he not realize how that may impact his political future?
He is up for re-election this
Are you
year.
going to grill him? I mean, or is he a Democrat? What's the story?
First of all, as everybody knows in Florida, it's weirdly enough, the position of mayors and all city positions are considered nonpartisan.
Oh, yeah?
So nobody has to declare what party they
affiliation?
belong to.
Oh, okay, cool.
But Mayor Josh has been mayor a couple of terms, but the reason we're going to have him on is he's going to be there for the ribbon cutting, and he's a big food. I'm not going to use the word foodie because I don't like it, but he's a big food enthusiast. He's a big supporter of restaurants in Hollywood. And he also is now, I understand, his family, the former owners of Kia Hollywood, where I had a miserable experience this morning. But he sent me the story, because I was texting
Didn't he
him.
give you like a huge break on the car when you bought it?
I wouldn't call it.
Was it the same guy? Yeah.
It wasn't a huge break on the car. It ended up getting.
So now he ripped you off on the car, plus he made you wait
No,
4 hours for service?
He got us.
You're going to have the guy on the show?
he had us. Look, I love Mayor Josh. Like, don't put words on my mouth, Defo.
Roger
thing was,
Stone wasn't available for
we
a
thought
comeback
we were
appearance?
going to get a certain car, and then of course my daughter got talked into like the higher priced, better model, safer vehicle.
Who
And
talked
then,
her into that?
well, the
This guy?
salesman.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a
all right.
salesman, and I did. It was a. Let's just
Does
say
she view you as? She can't view you as a cheapskate because you've taken her out to any number of really
No,
high
he-
end dinners.
I'm
And
not a cheapskate, and
I
I
don't
was
know you to be like a lousy tipper. I think you're a generous tipper.
I was
I
more
believe that's
concerned
true.
about her health and safety, and the salesman was saying, "Oh, and the K5 is so much more of a safer vehicle and has so many
Really?
more
Yeah.
safety features." And I wouldn't call it the hard sell, but look, the bottom line is,
They showed the other car and nothing but crashes. Before. That was the prelude to this other car's introduction. Nice.
I had a good experience with the purchase of the vehicle and the financing.
Aren't you driving that car now? Didn't she move on to some other vehicle that you were able to
No,
afford later
she's
on?
got a
No?
better car than her mom or
Oh, okay.
dad, and
All
she's
right.
going to be taking it up to Tallahassee soon, which is why I had to get the factory recall done and then the oil change done, and again, it's all included, and so now she's going to have a safe vehicle. But anyway, Josh sent me the news that his family sold the dealership. It just actually the closing went through just last week, and then there was some big write up in one of the automotive trades that it was a record price for a auto dealership was purchased by one of these big regional conglomerates.
There's some outfit out of Tampa that's buying up all of these local car dealerships.
Yeah, Morgan or something. It's
Yes.
called. But and
They bought the place where I take my car here locally. Of course, long affiliation with Deal Volkswagen, but it's a big schlep to Miami, so I don't go down there. And there was a place called Vista Volkswagen, and they bought that. And I would have to say there was nothing but confusion after I had the same sort of negative experience as you did.
yeah, I think when
Taking my
these
car in for an oil
dealerships,
change, yeah.
when these new conglomerates come on board,
No wonder
it
they
can-
have billions of dollars to spend on these dealerships.
yeah, it tends to be a little bit of confusion during the transition. I hope they get their act together, and I hope they do give good customer service. All I know is that after Mayor Josh sent me the story about record price, I said, "Well, in that case, drinks are on you tomorrow."
Oh, yeah.
It's-
No, they spent like $1 zillion. I guess Vista had a few dealerships around Broward County, and they bought them all, and the price tag was like $1.4 billion for I think 6 dealerships or something like that.
Wow.
I don't know. Is that like
Why
the
didn't
going
I
rate?
get
I'm
into
not
that
sure.
racket when I was younger? But
Right? You could have just opened up a small used car lot, buy here, pay here. Had maybe 4 really cheesy vehicles that you were trying to unload, advising friends not to come there, and you parlayed it into that's what our
No,
man down at Deal Volkswagen did.
And the Levy family story, what Josh sent me from this automotive trade. His father started the dealership with a friend, a partner. They started off by just with $15,000 in their pockets from
Yeah.
the sale of 40 mopeds, and they parlayed that into God knows how many decades
Billions of
later
dollars. Nice,
into
yeah.
this. But America's a great country, and I just wish I didn't have to wait 4 hours for a freaking oil change this morning. But enough of my griping.
You've been complaining about this for like the entire show. It's amazing.
Well, it kind of cost me my whole
No dining experiences, nothing.
I got
any
stuff.
interest on
No,
the
actually,
dining
I'm
front?
sorry. And like I was saying, tomorrow we're going to be
you got the
at
50-cent hot mustard at this Chinese
J&C
restaurant.
Oyster, and we're looking forward to that show at 4:00 tomorrow. Come on out because you could have watch the ribbon cutting and then have the great happy hour there at J&C Oyster. Okay, yeah, I do have other things on the. There seems to be a lot of complaining on the group this week, and no, I don't mind spending 50 cents on the house mustard. What kind of confused me though was that they did not charge for the hot oil, which also is a special request condiment in a separate cup. And then when I get the receipt, I see it's $0 for the hot oil, but
All right.
50 cents for the hot mustard. And the question I posed to the group is, why not, for the sake of consistency, either charge 50 cents for both of them or charge nothing for each of them? I don't understand the disparity. Is hot oil cheaper or just less requested than the special?
I would imagine both, right? I don't know. I was thinking actually near the medical marijuana dispensary that I frequent whenever they urge strikes, there's an Asian grocery store. Now, would it be wise to go in there if you were somebody that was a big fan of the house mustard over that? I mean, I can't eat the packets. If I had to put it on something, I would throw it out. And would it be wise to just purchase a jar? I mean, can you get this at an Asian grocery store?
Yes.
of
Yeah,
house
that's
mustard
what I would do. That's what you
that
guys
you would
And
think would be satisfactory, to accommodate you for like
pay for.
years of getting fried rice.
you could even just buy the Coleman's Pub Mustard, an English product, which to me is remarkably similar in terms of both the heat and the flavor composition as Chinese mustard, and
See, I
maybe
don't know
use
if I
that.
trust you on that. I'd rather get some genuine. Now, do they call it house mustard in the Asian grocery store? How
I,
do you
I
find it?
haven't gone hunting for it, but as several people pointed out, you could buy Chinese mustard powder and just
Yeah,
mix it
make it
with
yourself.
water
Yeah.
and make it yourself at home. And I imagine that's much cheaper than paying 50 cents every time you pick it up.
And the 50 cents isn't really like going to
No,
kill
it
anybody.
doesn't.
And now, what I noticed about the place you were at is they were about $1 lower than a lot of already
Your prices were
sort of
solid.
reasonably priced places on the items that you bought.
Yes,
So,
they
yeah.
reasonable spot, and that's Hunan Walk
Yeah.
1, the original one that's on Sheridan Street in East Hollywood / Dania. So they did a good job. They have very good, like those dumplings, pan fried, and also steamed dumplings. They seem to make all their dumplings and wontons in house, not just using frozen product. So that made me and Val. Val's a big dumpling freak, so she was happy with them. So that was good. So was the Panthers 4-1 victory. That was good. Oh, you know what I wanted to talk about is, we did a replay of our show yesterday that we did last week at Pizza Craft, and I don't know, I guess the Sentinel's not going to announce the 5 finalists in the running for best pizza until next week sometime, probably about next Monday or Tuesday, because again, those nominations are still open until this Sunday, the 16th. And the Lunchbox, we're happy to be part of that. Also, we're going to be doing a blind tasting judging on Tuesday, June 25th, to sort out the 5 finalists. And besides having a People's Choice winner among the 5 finalists, we'll have a judges winner, and that's going to be always something fun. But the Mark Falsetto and one of our sponsors, Taco Craft, got in the middle of the Let's Eat crosshairs over the weekend. I don't know if you saw this one, Defo, but about the whole concept of mocktails and what is charged for a mocktail. And even though they don't list any mocktails on their menus at Taco Craft, apparently that if you ask for the same ingredients, and they use all these fresh nectars and juices and things that, we've had some of their great margaritas there. Well, if you ask for a margarita, I guess without the tequila, you end up paying the same price.
Oh, it's the same price.
As a full tequila. Now, that caused a big discussion on the group. And to me, the thing was, they have some non-alcoholic offerings listed on the menu, that some Mexican sodas and some, regular American sodas, juices, and iced tea. But it doesn't specify, like some restaurants you go into and they make specific alcohol-free mocktails. This is not listed like that. So I guess it behooves you, whenever you go to a restaurant, to just ask, if you don't see something on their menu, like, oh, hey, can you do this? Can you make an alcohol-free, margarita? And if so, how much does that cost?
Yeah.
And I guess this person didn't realize until after the fact that she was charged the same amount as a, alcohol inclusive margarita, and was upset and, voiced her displeasure to the management. And, I understand that. I would expect, many places do offer, a maybe slightly lower prices for something that does not contain alcohol. But again, every place is free to make their own policies. And Mark Falsetto chimed in and basically was saying that, the products they use, and the labor involved, that this is their policy. Do I agree with it? Not important. It's just the fact that it's spelled out, or again, people should be aware.
It's so weird. Like, people are so embarrassed and feel it's tacky to ask about prices. But then when they get a price they don't like, they bitch about it. You can't have it both ways. Either ask and then be rebuffed, and then maybe you want to go bitch, fine. But if you're not going to ask up front what a price is, you can't go on a site complaining about it. That's on you tonight. You didn't. I for sure would have asked. I'm like, I don't see a mocktails. Can you make a drink without the alcohol? And what is it's a very simple thing. What does it cost without the alcohol? Like, I don't understand. People will never. I'm not even defending the restaurant here. Like,
should they revisit the policy? I don't know. If you get enough negative feedback and enough people saying, that seems ridiculous. But again, I don't know how many teetotalers are out there ordering, alcohol free, involved drinks that use all the different mixers and fancy things. But all I know is that any restaurant, if they get enough negative feedback, sometimes they'll change, and if they decide that that they're really that there's fine with the way they have it, then that's the way it's going to be. And I think Mark Falsetto strikes me as the type who just says we do things our way here. And if you don't like it, then next time just order a soda or something or water. And I don't know. I don't mean to be like dismissive of the alcohol-free crowd, but what I'm dismissive of is anytime I go to a restaurant, and this was the case last week at one of my sponsors when I went to Casa D'Angelo, and the waiter was rattling off the specials, and he rattled off a couple of the deli fish specials. And believe it or not, Defo, I do pay for the meals I go to, when we're not being fed during a lunchbox episode. And so I asked, I said, how much for the Dover sole? And he said it was whatever it was, $63. And how much for the Dorado, for another fish? And he said $58. And I was like, fine, okay. And we ended up making our decisions. I don't like surprises. Nobody likes surprises. And I guess the lesson of the story is if you don't see something listed on a menu specifically, ask.
And then what I just don't understand, we all have disappointment. To me, I like the group because it gives you ideas of where to go, what not to go. I like when people are, this dish was good, this dish could have used this. If you notice, we never slam people for those critiques because we all have them. My problem is complaining about prices that you didn't ask about. Like you would do. What do you think this should cost? I paid this. What do you think? I don't even mind that. But to not ask about a price, get the thing, and then go right to a group to bitch about it, like you didn't ask.
The person who put up the post phrased it in a way where she wasn't slamming it. She posed it in the form of a question and saying, would you be upset if this happened to you, or what do you think of this? And there was a lot of feedback, and there were some people who said, well, buyer beware, and if you don't see something listed on a menu, then it's kind of on you. And there are others who saying, hey, if you don't have alcohol included in a drink, it really should be the same price. But some people were also saying, well, you should have asked for the tequila on the side and just given it to a friend or pass it out to somebody else on the bar, which I wonder what would happen if you asked for the alcohol on the side. So
it has to give it to you.
That might be the way to do it. So I am, I think ready for the next break. I'm sure Defo is too, because I don't know why. I am just out of sorts today. Like I said, completely shot fighter. But maybe I can be rejuvenated by going to our friends at Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap. I was in touch with Kevin today. He will not be there when we're there this Thursday for our monthly remote show, but it will be the big reveal and the lunchbox debut of somebody who is now free to be on the air. Operations manager.
Nice.
One Brandon Albers is now
even know his last name because
going to be able to be on the show. Kevin's up in North Carolina. He's feverishly doing these menu. They come up with new menus from time to time, and he's in the middle, I guess, because he has 4 different locations of reworking and revamping menus, and so he's not going to be around Thursday. But you want to go check out Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, another really overwhelmingly gushing positive review on the Let's Eat group this morning, which is really satisfying to see. People are now finally starting to check it out, discover it, and also finding out about the free parking garage right next door, right on the side street there on 5th Terrace. 525 North Federal Highway is the address. Home of great Southern cooking and also some, healthier, lighter options, all kinds of good fish dishes and salads besides the favorites like shrimp and grits, jambalaya, and those famous drop biscuits that are just so good. They've got the weekend brunch with the bottomless drink options. They've got lunch and dinner. They have a new fried green tomato, BLT.
Yes.
That looks really good. And they also have Whiskey Wednesday. They have live music on Wednesday through Friday. Go in there for yourself. Check it out. Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, 525 North Federal in Fort Lauderdale. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, more coming up in just a moment.
Best restaurants in South Florida? Casa d'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First class dining, top flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended for a special occasion or any occasion. Casa d'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. If you're looking for an exquisite sushi experience, Kaizen Sushi Bar and Grill in Fort Lauderdale is the place to go. 5640 North Federal Highway, just north of Commercial Boulevard. Chef owner Hui Lam, he's a sushi savant, slicing and serving pristine fish and seafood flown in directly from Japan and around the world. Nigiri, sashimi, special rolls, and omakase dinners. He's ruined me from going anywhere else. It's that good. Open 7 days for dinner and also for lunch. Even if you're not a sushi fan, they have great cooked options, including steaks, chops, rice and noodles, and other Japanese dishes. It's fantastic. For reservations and information, go to kaizenflorida.com. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new birria tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-face smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox, and I don't know. It seems like everybody disappeared from the chat lines. That always scares me. Maybe because I told a story about how I soiled myself on a golf course during lunch hour. But Defo, I guess happy to see that you got around this weekend and that you actually forsook watching the race to go eat a good meal at Fish Shack. Any other dining experiences over the weekend, or Lubie? Anybody?
I think Lubie's been out and about all over town.
We didn't even get a chance to talk about it. Joe Beja once again hits it out of the freaking park.
Oh, I forgot. It seems so long ago. It's been a few days.
The track was fantastic.
Yeah, he really hit the notes with the theme of the New York street food, and getting that the shawarma or the kebab thing going for the gyros, the gyros. That was the smash hit, I think, was those gyros, because he had all the nice little accompaniments.
Yeah, it was like a real gyro. I mean,
nice fluffy pita bread. And
but he look, and I get it. He takes all these seriously. He does a really good job. But being out in New York really shined through on this one, because he hit all the notes. The Italian station, the bolognese is really nice.
Pasta.
Great. The pizzas were solid. The pretzel bites worked. Then they had the deli sandwiches, which were cool. You had a real deal euros. The hot dog cart was great. The little hot dogs.
I love that hot dog corner. It was at the miniature Sabrettes,
Yeah.
so it wasn't a long. You don't fill up on them because you want to eat a lot of the other things. But that was a really nice touch with the red onions. Onions.
Yes.
That's your
And
favorite.
then the drinks were all New York themed and were really good. It was, and again, it was a fully loaded clientele packed, but it didn't feel like it because of the way that he sets everything up. Everyone gets a table, which again, some of the events, as we know, not everyone can get a table, and that's fine. The way Joe sets it up, he makes sure everyone has somewhere to sit. And then with the track rules, you put your chair up, no one's touching your table. You can actually feel comfortable to walk around, enjoy it. Like, I'm really enjoying these, and I appreciate him having us here because it was Aaron's had a blast.
The little touches were nice because you had the Chinese station where, besides General Tso's
Yes, and the
chicken
Chinese
and the
was-
fried rice and some dumplings, you also had in the little Chinese takeout containers with chopsticks these cold sesame noodles, which is a big thing in New York. And again, a nice touch the way it was all set up, the displays, the drinks. Certainly get your money's worth there. It was very fun. Every time they have a race go off, people are just cheering and hooting and
Yeah,
hollering.
we were really into it.
So, and Joe, we're going to say, I don't think he's tuned in now because he's in Italy for 2 weeks with his daughter who's about to do a summer school session there, I think in Florence, which
Florence, yep.
lucky guy, but they landed in Rome and I couldn't resist sticking the needle in him because he posted a picture of a pizza in Rome and it's the Roman style, which is kind of like an oval and it looks a little bit wet and sloppy. And I said, that's not authentic New York pizza. And anyway, we wish him well for 2 weeks that he's gone. And in his stead, when we go to Gulfstream on Friday, I think we're going to have a sit down and talk with the new executive chef at Gulfstream Park. I got a chance to meet him on Saturday, and that should be fun. He came to Gulfstream from working at some big places in Orlando, I think, including Universal or maybe one of the Disney
Universal.
properties.
He was with the
Emeralds? No,
Emerald.
not.
He was with Emeralds at Universal, and he was like a big with that and Universal. I'm like really excited to talk to the guy. He's done a good job.
Oh, and thank you for reminding me, Don and Lubie. But yeah, the hit to me was they handed out little bags of freshly made Zeppelis for dessert, besides having a dessert table with black and white cookies that were really good and some cannolis. But those Zeppelis were the bomb. They were light and airy. They were kind of like the New Orleans beignets, but lighter and just it was great. So a job well done to him again. Wait, we got to take one more break. I don't know where the time goes, Defo. But here we are. It is Tuesday. And that means one thing on a Tropical Acres Tuesday. It means you want to go into Tropical Acres tonight. If you want the best value around town, you go into the bar at happy hour from 4:30 to 6:30. You get yourself a half-price premium cocktail like those Belvedere martinis for $8. Then you go into the dining room and you can get a half-price bottle of wine along with a $39 twin lobster special with salad and side dish. And that's, again, 2 freshly steamed lobsters straight from the North Atlantic, pound and a quarter each, and then you get yourself one of those filet mignons or some prime rib. You have yourself a surf and turf feast along with a bottle of wine for like about $100. You can't beat those prices. Impeccable service. They've been around 75 years. And this Sunday, Father's Day, they are open serving dad from 3 to 8 p.m. Go in there. Actually, call them now to get your reservations for dad. 954-989-2500. 954-989-2500. Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, coming back with more of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox in a moment.
From a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar. A great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to bashsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. A sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hour 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and reservations. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, we're back to wrap up this edition of the Lunchbox. I think we did all the business we have to do. Casa D'Angelo, I mentioned I was in there last week. They've got 3 locations, and they're, if you want to have a truly special celebration for, let's say, a birthday, a graduation, a retirement party, an anniversary, big month in June, Casa D'Angelo is the way to go. They have impeccable service, the finest, freshest ingredients, and, just a classy atmosphere. Tremendous wine lists, 3 locations, Aventura, the Boca Raton on East Palmetto Park Road, and, of course, the Fort Lauderdale flagship right there at 1201 North Federal Highway. Got to see Angelo Ilia, the man himself. He's going to be taking a little trip to his home country of Italy, too.
Nice.
But, again, all those restaurants are in quite capable hands. The executive chefs at each location truly accomplished and passionate, driven to succeed, including the new chef at Aventura, who we hope to sit down with next month at a special remote lunchbox. That would be Giovanni Rocchio.
Oh, nice.
The chef at Valentino's in Fort Lauderdale. All right. I think that's going to do it for today. I didn't get to everything, but that's all right. We're going to do a little home show tomorrow before the J&C Oyster Show to kind of just clear out all the topics that we can get to at home easier than on the road, including the whole thing about automatic gratuities and service charges, something I know we've talked about, but this weekend I posted the notice that came with the explanation of the service charge at that Huntsman restaurant in Tallahassee. Of course, the home of antelope tartare that Defo is going to try when we go up for.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
no comment from the man. I think he'd really like the bison ribeye. That was good. That was an excellent cut of beef. All right, until tomorrow, don't spend it all in one place, Defo and Lubie. We will see you tomorrow, both here and at J&C Oyster at 4 o'clock. Until then.